All right, if I hear one more pro tell me to square the face, square the leading edge, I'm going to punch him in the face, because that is the wrong thing to tell people. That conjures up the wrong images for people. What you really want to be told is square the loft. Let me explain. Okay, welcome back to Migmatis Golf, everybody. I am in Johannesburg and I'm about to go play golf. It's a bit overcast, so I'm hoping it's not going to rain, but it's always exciting when you get to go play golf. Sorry if the audio isn't as good as normal. I forgot to bring away my external microphone, so we're going raw, we're going old school, we're just using the internal microphone, so sorry about that. Okay, so squaring the club face. Why do they say square the club face? And when they say square the club face, what does that get most amateurs to do? Well, if you've been for a lesson, you'll know that the pro will always tell you to square the club face, and to do that, to use the leading edge here of the club. So they want that leading edge to be perpendicular to the line of the ball flight. So the line parallel to your feet normally, that the ball is going to take off on, they want this leading edge to be perpendicular at address and also while you're releasing the club coming through the ball. What does that get us to do? That gets us to only be concerned with that leading edge. Now I'll show you in a minute why that's important. What they should be saying is to square the loft, okay? Now if you consider the loft, the whole of the face, can you see how when this club is stood straight up and down, the loft is pointing upwards there? This is a 56 degree. So not only should I be squaring this front edge to the line of the ball flight, but I should also be squaring this face to the ground. This face, or at least it's not going to be exactly square, but the mental picture I should have is that at impact, this face should be perpendicular to the ground. That's how you present the face to the ball to compress it. The sweet spot needs to be hitting the back of the ball. So this edge square, but also the loft square to the ground. Why is that important? That's important because when you only think about squaring this leading edge, your brain, your motor skills, they figure out the simplest way of doing that. And the simplest way of squaring just the leading edge is not how you compress a golf ball, and I'll demonstrate. So if I am set up here and I'm hitting the ball in that direction, if I just concentrate on squaring the leading edge as I come through, what happens is my brain says, oh, the really easy way of doing that is to use the right hand for a right-handed golfer, this hand, and to release the club like this, and you can see how there is no longer any bend in my right wrist. Ideally, when you make impact, you want this angle in your right wrist to still be there. So if all I'm thinking about is the leading edge, this right hand takes over. Yes, the club head or the leading edge is square. It is square, but I have lost all the bend in this wrist, and I am not presenting the sweet spot to the ball. So it's the difference between this and what a proper release should be. If you're telling your brain that not only the leading edge should be square, but also the loft should be square, then look what happens. Forward shaft lean, still have a lot of bend in my right wrist. I'll try and take a video like from an eye view, like a human's eye view, looking down at a ball to give you a better idea. So what do I need to do to achieve that square loft release? Well, watch. I can't just overuse the right hand. I have to bow the left. I have to bow the left and lead with the hands. If I didn't bow the left, club comes in wide open, leading edge wide open, right? So I need to lead with the hands and bow the left wrist, which keeps the bend in the right wrist. Amazing. So you need to get that mental picture. That's how you square a club face. You can play like this. I've played for many years like this with the right hand squaring it, and I can shoot good scores. But I know I don't compress the ball properly and I don't hit it very far. Those are two huge clues, okay? If you're a bit of a picker of the ball, don't really create divots, and you hit it fat once in a while and you don't hit it anywhere, I bet you are squaring the club with this hand instead of with this hand. Let's take a video of what it looks like when you're looking down at the ball. Okay, voilà une balle, monsieur. We have a ball. We have the leading edge of the club. So as you can see, I'm going from right here to left. I'm hitting in that direction over there. The leading edge is square to address. So I take the club back. As it comes through, if I square it with just my right hand, there it is square. But look, all of the bend has gone out of that hand. My right hand. Now, if I do it properly, it's quite difficult this whilst holding the camera, but if I do it properly, I'm keeping that bend and I'm turning the face down. Now look, I still have bend in that right wrist. But let me show you with the left hand then. So here's the club square. If I square with my right hand, I would come back like this. Left hand, there's no bowing there. If I do it properly to square it, look at the bow in the wrist. Same thing for the leading edge, but the loft on the club is vastly different. Look at the loft there versus there. That is very, very different. Let's try a face on. This leading edge is square, but the loft isn't. This leading edge is also square, but now look at the loft. The loft is perpendicular to the ground if this table was the ground. That is a completely different picture than this. You can play like this. You won't compress the ball. You can time it, you can hit it straight, but you won't be consistent. This is how you need to present the golf club. Okay, here we go. Wrists face on. I'm concentrating on just squaring the leading edge. Take the club back as I come through. My right hand squares the leading edge. But look what it's done. It's taken all of this bend out of my right wrist. Okay, even though the leading edge is square, I can play like that, but it's not a very efficient way. Don't really compress the ball very much, you won't hit it very far. Now, the correct way, as I come through, hands lead, the club gets twisted by the left hand. It gets twisted by the left hand bowing. It gets to the ball. It is, the leading edge is also square, but now the loft is square. The loft is almost perpendicular to the ground. Look how much shaft lean there is. Look how much bend is still left in my right wrist. That's the correct way. So now you have a proper concept of how to square the loft. It's not just the leading edge we're squaring. It's the whole face. We're squaring it this way and we're squaring it up and down this way. Presenting, where's that ball? We're not presenting the club like this. We're presenting the club like this. Sweet spot to the back of the ball. Much more powerful. So now that you have that new concept, how do you train that? Well, if this is your release pattern, like me, and you've done it for years, it's going to take some commitment, right? And what I suggest is get yourself a little kid's short club. Just sit around the house, hold it in your left hand, and spend your whole time twisting that face closed with the left wrist by bowing it, twisting, not doing this, twisting it. It's like, you know, when you ride a motorcycle, if any of you ride a motorcycle, you kind of like twist on the gas. Well, with your left wrist, it's the opposite. You're not twisting towards you, you're twisting away from you. You're twisting away from you to square that face. Practice that. Practice just left arm only shots, okay? Left arm only shots, you'll never get them to go left unless you do that. If you're used to doing this, they're going to be very weak shots where you're going to hit the ground most times before the ball. Practice bowing that left wrist. All right, I hope that helps. Leave some comments, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you. Bye.